That's right, Nancy. We're just hours away from this historic meeting between the presidents. They've been very, very careful not to call this an official summit. They are saying this is just a meeting. It's a meeting, of course, that President Trump has sought since the beginning of his presidency. And it comes amid a contentious string of meetings, as you know, with EU leaders that traditional American allies that now the president is essentially calling foes, along with Russia and China, at least when it comes to trade. And of course, all of this against the backdrop of these indictments of 12 Russian intelligence officers on Friday. Let's listen into what the president had to say yesterday.
After watching the people, the man that was testifying yesterday, I call it the rigged witch hunt. I think that really hurts our country, and it really hurts our relationship with Russia. I think that we would have a chance to have a very good relationship with Russia and a very good relationship with President Putin. I would hope so.
So the president there talking about those indictments. A lot of questions, Nancy, and a lot of pressure on the president about whether or not he's going to actually bring these up, if he's going to put this in the face of Vladimir Putin and demand some kind of response or the potential extradition of these folks to the United States to stand trial, as Chuck Schumer, of course, has pushed for. Lots of Democrats pushing for this on the Hill. But whether or not he'll actually make this the main bone of contention is a bigger question.
Yes, Hadley, and many other leaders around the world, those that President Trump was meeting at NATO, have really welcomed this meeting, too, because they say, look, it's good to have them at the table together speaking. But as you point out, there are a lot of questions about how close is too close. And coming off the back of the meeting with NATO, in light of what he said about the EU being foes as well, that does raise some concerns about you don't want to look too close with Russia here. It was interesting in that press conference we were just watching that took place between President May and Prime Minister May and President Trump at Chequers there. The president also took a question about improving relations with Russia at a time when they still have the illegal occupation of Crimea. Take a listen to what the president had to say.
Yes, they do. And if you're talking about Crimea primarily, yeah. But again, President Obama failed very badly with Crimea. I don't think he would have done that if I were president. He took over Crimea, and he actually took it over during the Obama administration, I think you will admit.
But how do you get him out?
Well, we'll have to see what happens, you know. I'm not bad at doing things. If you look at what I've done compared to what other people have done 160 days in, there's nobody even close, I don't believe. So let's see what happens. But this was an Obama disaster. And I think if I were president then, he would not have taken over Crimea. During the Obama administration, he essentially took over Crimea. I don't think he would have done that with me as president.
Well, it wouldn't have happened on my watch is the message from President Trump there, Hadley, around Crimea. But it'll be very interesting to see whether or not this issue comes up in the meeting, whether or not President Trump backs down and any criticism about that move.
Absolutely, Nancy. And you have to remember that there is no doubt that the Russian president is going to bring up a lot of historical grievances here. He's going to be talking about putting all of those NATO troops along the border. He's going to be talking about Crimea. He's going to be referencing as that we're just taking back, as he said many times in the past, we're just taking back what was already ours. You know, they wanted to come with us. I mean, this is the line that he's used for years now. So it's not as if, you know, the president's going to go in there and have, you know, all guns blazing. Certainly the Russian president is going to be pushing back. And remember, they're not just going to be talking about Crimea. They're also going to be talking about potentially the future of Syria as well. Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.